What is up YouTube, I am Ben Plays Games guys, and today you join me for the Origins Beginner to Master Guide. Before we get into that, I just want to say if this guide helps you in any way, please do be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, turn on the notification bell and jump into a live stream, maybe once or twice. I want to meet you guys who are watching this video. This guide is going to cover absolutely everything to do with the map Origins. It's going to cover everything on the Black Ops 3 version and the Black Ops 2 version. The gameplay that's going to be used is mostly Black Ops 3, but most points are relevant for both versions of the map. Any differences between the games will be noted for you guys on the screen. The guide will cover everything, and I do mean everything you want to know about the map Origins. Like, this guide will turn you into a master of the map. We'll put on screen now the timestamps of each section so you can find whatever you're looking for quick and easily. It's going to be a long video. If you want to watch the whole thing, I thank you for that, but in reality just skip to the section you need, use that section and get on with your game of Origins. I also want to give a shout out to Nathan and Semi. Both of their links are going to be in the description. You guys know them. Two of my editors, two of my admins, two of my good friends, and they have put a lot of effort into this project, and I hope you guys can give them some love, show them some love. Their links will be in the description below. Okay, so first off we're going to start with the Pack-a-Punch guide, which is also known as the generators. Origins doesn't have a single power switch like most zombies maps. There are 6 of them, and they each power their own area of the map. You turn on a generator by spending points and staying on the platform until the process is finished. The more players there are in the game, the longer each generator will take to turn on, and also the more players, the more each generator will cost. The generator's costs are as follows: 200 points is the cost on solo, 400 on 2 player, 600 on 3 player, and 800 on 4 player. The points you also spend on the generator are refunded once it's finished turning on, and you also get a 100-point bonus. The refunded points and the 100-point bonus are given separately. This happens very quickly but not instantly, so if you step off the platform too quickly after finishing it, you may not receive the full amount of points. This is less of an issue on BO3 as the points are given much more quickly, but on Black Ops 2 you really need to make sure you're hanging around on the platform until you've got all those points, including that 100 bonus points that you're going to get from turning the generator on. You can leave the platform if you need to while powering it on, but the charge will begin reversing and won't stop until you get back on the platform, and it can turn back off if you're not on the platform for long enough. All of the generators need to be on in order for you to use the Pack-a-Punch. The Pack-a-Punch is found at the top of the mound in No Man's Land in the centre of the map. Starting on round 10, temp-bar zombies will come every 5 or so rounds to turn off the generators. If you don't kill them, they'll go to each generator one by one and turn them all off. Killing them all will grant you a max ammo, but only if you kill them while they are currently attacking a generator, not when they're travelling to one. On Black Ops 2, killing them with a staff will not give you a max ammo, but on Black Ops 3 it will. On Black Ops 2, if you charge a staff shot and then switch weapons before the last one dies, you can get the max ammo. Nukes are very helpful for these zombies, especially when they're on the opposite side of the map to you. You probably won't be able to get the max ammo, but at least you'll save that generator and keep power on in that area. Every now and then, one of the 3 robots will walk across the map. They can be entered by shooting whichever foot has a yellow circle on it and then being stepped on by that foot. The foot is random each time the robot walks over the map. If you get stepped on without opening the entrance hatch, you will go down. Whenever a round starts, which is a multiple of 4, example 4, 8, 12, 16, the first time a robot walks past that round, it'll be all 3 robots at once. When this happens, only one of the 6 feet will be enterable out of all 6 of the feet. This will happen randomly throughout the round. So the round will have times where it's just one robot and times where it is all 3 but never 2. If a robot steps on a zombie, in Black Ops 3 the zombie will just respawn, but in Black Ops 2 it'll die, which can end the round, and also obviously you also lose points because that's not your kill, that's the robot's kill. To avoid this, it can be good to place the shield down outside the footprint just before the robot gets there to distract the zombie. The same robot will never come twice in a row, and also the exception to this is obviously when all 3 robots come at once. The hitbox for the entrance hatch is much easier to hit on Black Ops 2 because you can pretty much shoot anywhere on the bottom of the foot, but in Black Ops 3 you have to hit that circle. It's even possible to knife the hatch open if your timing is absolutely perfect, but we do not recommend trying this as you will most likely go down. Robots come about 30 to 40 seconds after the last one has finished its walk. There are 2 reward chests on the map, one in the spawn room and one at generator 6. There are 4 challenges that are the same in each game. Obviously you guys probably know Black Ops 3, the challenges change each game on maps that have got challenges, whereas Origins they don't. You have 4 challenges on Origins and all 4 players have the same challenges. You have to get 115 normal zombie headshots, not generator zombies or panzers. This will give you a Pack-a-Punch assault rifle. You have to spend 30,000 points, this will give you double tap. You have to turn on all 6 generators, and this will give you a max ammo. And you have to fill 4 soul chests, and this will give you the Wunderfizz. We'll get onto that later. The Gramophone is used to open portals to the crazy place, as well as the lower chamber of the mound, which is where you build the staffs. We'll go into that more detail when we upgrade the staffs later on. The Gramophone is found here. It'll be either side of this desk. The Gramophone is used with a black record to open up the lower chamber of the mound. The black record can be found in one of these 3 locations. The shovel can be used to dig up dirt piles around the map. These can give you guns, power-ups, or they can detonate grenades, which you'd seriously want to watch out for. I've died to that so many times on early rounds, it is unreal. Okay, just seriously watch out for those grenades, like for real. They're also needed for building the ice staff, but we'll get to that later. The shovel can be upgraded to give you better drops and weapons into the golden shovel. The shovels can be found in spots on the screen now. There are 28 normal dig spots around the map. There are 6 in the trenches, which is 3 on Gen 2 and 3 on the Gen 3 side. There are 16 in No Man's Land, and there are 6 in the church area. There's 3 before the stairs and 3 after the stairs. So we're going to start with the non-staff buildables now for you guys, and the first one we're going to go into is the shield. The shield has 3 parts. 2 are located in the trenches. 1 on the route to Generator 2, 1 on the route to Generator 3, and 1 in No Man's Land. Here are the locations on your screens now. Here's the one in the Gen 2 routes locations. Here's the one in Generator 3. And here's the one in No Man's Land. Now, the recommended places to build the shield for different purposes, it varies, okay? So for high rounds and non-speedrun Easter eggs, it's best to build it in the wind tunnel. Then once you have opened all the tunnels, you can leave the Gramophone in the wind tunnel, and you'll always be able to grab a fresh shield whenever you need to go to the crazy place. And obviously that means that you can run through that portal as well, just to simply get away from zombies, and it gives you a minute to breathe and recompose yourself. For Easter egg speedruns, build it in the church so you can use it for the melee kills, and you have the Maxis Drone built in the wind tunnel so you can quickly grab it before the final step. But we'll get to that later. On Black Ops 2, if you look away from the shield whilst you're building it, it'll cancel a build. However, on Black Ops 3, you can turn around and look behind you to make sure you're safe whilst you're building. This is a key point. If you are playing on Black Ops 2, do not turn around when you're building the shield because it will cancel the build. On Black Ops 2, you can place the shield down to distract zombies as long as the shield is directly between you and the zombie. Once they start hitting it, they will stay with it until it is destroyed. We are now moving on to the Maxis Drone buildable. The Maxis Drone has 3 parts. The first part is always on this table that you're seeing on your screens right now in the spawn room. It only has 1 spawn location. The other 2 parts, unfortunately, have 3 spawn locations each. One part is found in the mound, and it's either at the top, next to the Gramophone table, or down here in the rafters above where you build the staffs. The last part is found either next to the ice portal or on the tank track going either way from the church on the side closest to the mound. You can do an Easter egg with the Maxis Drone to get yourself a free Pack-a-Punched Magna Collider LMG. Very good gun, can I just add. Go to each of these 4 locations shown in the video and then release the drone. The drone will fly up and collect a golden ring. Once you've collected all 4 rings, the gun will be waiting for you just in front of the Pack-a-Punch machine at the top of the mound. You can do all of them with 1 use of the drone if you run fast enough. You've got to run fast though. If a player goes down while the drone is up, he'll come over and revive them, but this does not work on solo in either game, Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 3. The Maxis Drone is also needed for the Easter egg, so if you are watching this guide for the Easter egg, build him now. My recommended perks and Gobblegums are going to be the next section we cover. The recommended perks that I say for the Easter egg are Stamina Up, which is essential, by the way. It's the most important perk on this map. That mud is lethal and will kill you if you're not careful. Juggernog, obviously. Quick Revive, obviously, and Speed Cola or Widows, but it really just is whatever you're most comfortable with. On Black Ops 3, my personal opinion is Widow's Wine, but Speed Cola is also viable. If you are playing on Black Ops 3, the Gobblegums I recommend for the Easter egg are, if you're going for a Classics run, In Plain Sight is great for gathering lightning staff parts, as you can use it to get the zombies to stop chasing the tank if they get too close. It's also great for general survivability. In Plain Sight gives you a moment of invincibility while you activate it, which can allow you to survive getting stepped on by the robot, if you time it right, that is.
Such a job. The giant robots may be our greatest scientific achievement, made possible only because of element 115.
Anywhere but here is also good for survivability. Alchemical Antithesis, just because it's always useful, and quite often I run Alchemical Antithesis with megas, because I don't do classic runs, but even when I do my mega runs, I run Alchemical Antithesis because it's just that good. And Swordflake can also be helpful for the G-Strike melee kills, but we'll get onto that later. The megas that I recommend are as follows. Shopping free or extra credit are good to get the map open on an early round. If you get an extra credit on solo, make sure to pick up the double points from the rewards chest in the spawn before you pick up your points, as this will double the points from 5,000 to 10,000, which is a very useful feature, can I tell you. Temporal gift can make Skewer the Winged Beast much easier, but isn't essential. It's good for red dig spots though. Idolize, for the same reason as In Plain Sight, it can also save you from the robot if you time it right. A Perkaholic on the house, or a soda fountain, or an unquenchable, because then you can get more than 4 perks. You know, it's obvious. If you're running Mega Gobblegums, I definitely recommend running one of these 4 Gobblegums. Killjoy or Fatal Contraption can be useful for the final step and general survivability. If you don't have many Mega Gobblegums, however, Licensed Contractor can actually be really helpful on low rounds. It gives you 600 points, and if you use it just after picking up the double points from the rewards chest in the spawn, it may give you enough for the last door you need to open to get that last ice staff part on an early round. Obviously, the really overpowered Gobblegums mostly apply here, so if you do want to run something that's OP that I haven't mentioned, go for it, okay? I'm not going to tell you not to. The perks I recommend for high rounds are as follows. Stamina Up or Speed Cola, depending on if you're training or camping. Obviously, use Stamina Up if you're going to be training, and Speed Cola if you're going to be camping. Juggernog and Quick Revive, obviously, and Widow's Wine for Black Ops 3, or Speed Cola or Stamina Up for Black Ops 2 is your 4th perk. Then you need to try and get red dig spots for more perk slots. If you have a 5th perk slot, then get both Stamina Up and Speed Cola, as even if you're camping with Speed Cola, Stamina Up can also be useful to get you out of corners. The same as if you're training with Stamina Up and you need to reload quick, Speed Cola will come in handy. The Mega Gobblegums that I recommend for high rounds are a Cashback, a Dead of Nuclear Winter for the generator zombies, and any perk Gobblegum really. And I personally also recommend Power Vacuum if you have them. If you don't have them, don't worry. But whenever I do around 100, I run Power Vacuum, and it's a lot of fun. It makes the game a lot more enjoyable at the high rounds. I also want to point out that I also run an Alchemical Antithesis. That Gobblegum is literally the angel of the classic Gobblegums. Please run Alchemical. Each staff has 3 parts and 1 elemental gem that is reached by going to the crazy place through the corresponding tunnel to that staff. Only the player carrying the correct gem can build that specific staff, but any player can pick up the other 3 parts. A record is also needed for each staff. The ice staff requires the blue record, the wind staff requires the yellow record, the lightning staff requires the purple record, and the fire staff requires the red record. Each record has a possible 3 locations. Each record is found somewhere near the tunnel opposite to the tunnel in which it is used. For example, the red record is found near to the ice tunnel, and the yellow record is found near the lightning tunnel. A gem can only be picked up once the corresponding tunnel has been used to enter the crazy place. So you can only get the fire staff gem when the fire staff tunnel's been used, etc, etc. However, once the correct tunnel has been used once, the gem will be available until it is picked up, regardless of which tunnel you get to the crazy place with. You can only hold 1 gem at a time. This applies to solo and co-op. If you're holding a gem and you pick up a new one, the one you're holding will teleport its way back to the crazy place. The staffs are built in the lower chamber of the mound that you're seeing on your screens now. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the building of the staffs. This will be each staff unupgraded, and then we'll cover the upgrades later in the video, if that makes sense to you guys. The timestamps, once again, they're at the beginning of the video. If you want to go back and look at them, go right now and be my guest. We'll start with the ice staff, and in my opinion, the best staff. For the record, the blue record can be found in one of these 3 spots around the tank station at generator 2. You have to dig on a snow round to find the parts for the staff. The one is in the trenches, so this is around generator 2 and 3. The one will be in no man's land at the centre of the map, and the one will be in the church area, anything past the door beyond the mound. Round 4 snow is ideal because if it snows before then, it is not guaranteed that all 3 parts will have spawned into the map. On round 4 it isn't 100% guaranteed, although it is extremely unlikely that the parts won't have spawned. However, by round 4 you may not be able to afford all the doors necessary before the round ends. When the ice staff parts spawn in, they can either create a new dig pile or they can overwrite an existing one, so make sure not to dig up any piles until it starts to snow, whatever round that is. After round 5 it won't snow again until at least round 10 at the earliest. The ice staff tunnel is by generator 6 behind the church. You're seeing this on your screens now. We'll then move on to the wind staff. The record for the wind staff can be found in one of these 3 locations around generator 5. One part can be found in each robot for this staff. Enter the robots by shooting the yellow circle on one of its feet and getting stepped on by that foot. If you get the robot foot by speed cola, you can shoot it while it's standing on the workshop to make life easier for yourself. The enterable foot is random each time. When all 3 robots come together, remember only one of the 6 feet will be enterable, and the wind tunnel is next to generator 4, as you're seeing on your screens right now. The lightning parts can be found as follows. The purple record can be found in one of these 3 spots around generator 4. You'll get the parts for the lightning staff by taking the tank and jumping off onto 3 different platforms. You need to take the tank at least twice to access all 3 parts. From the church to generator 2 you can get 1 part, and then from the generator 2 to the church you can get both parts in 1 trip if you're fast enough. This is much easier on Black Ops 2 as the mud is less aggressive and oppressive on Black Ops 2. Stamping up is very good for this step, but it is possible without on both games. It is also possible to strafe jump up to the part in the church on Black Ops 2, but very difficult. A good thing to remember here is if you only have 500 points but the tank is in the wrong spot for you to get the part you need, you can go to the place you need to take the tank from and call it to you for 500 points. When it gets there, it'll recharge instantly and it'll be free to use. When you need to take the tank from Gen 2, I recommend holding a runner up by the MP40 wall by in no man's land, waiting for your sprint to recharge and then sprinting straight down to the tank and buying it immediately. Don't slide or jump, just sprint. This should make just enough distance between you and the zombie that you don't have to worry about it, while still being close enough that it won't respawn in front of the tank and get run over. If you have stamina up, walk about halfway down the ramp before sprinting. The lightning tunnel is next to generator 5 as you're seeing on your screens right now. And last but definitely not least, we're going to go on to the fire staff. The fire staff record can be found in one of these spots around generator 6. There is 3 of the spots, they're on your screen right now. One part is a reward for turning on generator 6. You can collect it from the generator 6 reward chest. This is not a challenge, this is just, it will appear as soon as you turn on generator 6. Another part is obtained by using a bullet weapon to shoot down the glowing plane which appears the round after opening up the path towards the church. The part will fall down to this area next to the mound. It'll always land here. It doesn't change game to game. Bullet weapons are essentially just any weapons that shoot normal bullets, so basically anything except the staffs, ray guns, explosive weapons or the boom hilda. The last part is obtained by killing the first panzer, which will always spawn on round 8, and keep in mind that the panzer won't spawn until you open up the door to no man's land, so don't be worried if you're still in the first section of the map on round 8, he will not spawn. If you open this door on or after round 8, he won't wait for the round to end, he'll just spawn in there and then. and he'll fuck you up. That's what the Panzer does. The fire tunnel is then immediately on your left as you take the generator 3 route door from spawn. We'll now move on to the upgrading of the staffs. We're going to go in the same order that we just did, so that will be ice, wind, lightning, then fire. To upgrade the ice staff, the first step to upgrading it is going to the crazy place and solving the puzzle in the ice area. A symbol will appear on the wall to the right, which corresponds to one of the symbols lined above you. When you shoot the corresponding symbol, the one on the wall will change and you'll have to do it again. Once you've done this for all 6 symbols, the step will be complete. If you shoot the wrong symbol, you'll have to start again. On screen are the translations for each symbol, so it may be worth screenshotting this or taking a picture on your phone. Then you need to freeze 3 graves and shoot them with a bullet weapon. The graves are here. On Black Ops 3, the ice staff has a much longer range for this step than Black Ops 2, so you can actually shoot the grave behind the tank station whilst walking down the tank track from the mound. I tend to do this because it does save time. Now you need to align the rings in the lower chamber of the mound to blue and shoot the orb that has appeared with your staff. You can do this by holding square, X or F on the corresponding lever. The lever here moves the top ring, this one moves the second ring down, this one moves the third, and this one moves the fourth. You can pull the lever for the third ring by jumping and holding square from the platform where Mule Kick is. Finally, you then want to place the ice staff in the altar in the crazy place and kill 20 zombies to finish the upgrade. Once you place a staff down, you won't be able to pick it up again until you've finished the upgrade. With any ultimate staff, you can flip it over and shoot down teammates to revive them. Just as with building the staffs, you don't have to use the correct portal to place the staff down to finish the upgrade. You can use whichever portal you want, whichever one's easiest for you. The first step to upgrading the wind staff is to shoot these rings in the wind area of the crazy place until they are in this order. Make sure you're looking at the same line of symbols as in this gameplay. Then you need to go down to these areas and shoot 3 chimneys with the wind staff. Align the rings to yellow and shoot them. Then simply, once again, go to the crazy place, place the staff in the altar and kill 20 zombies, and there you go, your wind staff's upgraded. To start the lightning staff upgrade, go to the lightning area in the crazy place and shoot the keys on the lower half of the keyboard in this order. 1, 3, 6, 3, 5, 7, 2, 4, 6. The next step is to turn switches around the map. Here are all of the switches on your screens right now, and here is what they need to be set to. The switches can be done before the staff is even built. This switch near the door to No Man's Land doesn't affect the staff at all. You can leave it how it is or change it, it doesn't do anything. You then align and shoot the purple rings under the mound in the No Man's Land, and then you place the staff in the altar in the crazy place once more, 20 kills, and you finish your upgrade. Your lightning staff's upgraded. However, I don't recommend doing the lightning staff for high rounds, that'd be great. Last but not least, the upgrading of the fire staff. To start the upgrade for the fire staff, you simply want to go and get 40 kills with the fire staff on this grate in the fire area of the crazy place. If the zombie explodes in a puff of smoke, it has counted towards the upgrade. These kills can also count towards the final step of the other staffs. So to be more efficient, I recommend not getting the kills for each staff straight away, but rather placing them all down and finishing them off when you're doing this step for the fire staff. Once all 4 cauldrons have lit up, you have finished this step. Now, go upstairs to the area of the church and find these symbols. Each symbol translates to 11, 5, 9, 7, 6, 3 and 4. Note down which symbols are lit up. There will be 4 of them. The last one, which translates to 4, will always be lit up. Shoot the torches downstairs that correspond to the numbers you read upstairs. The order you shoot them doesn't matter as long as you get the correct 4. Downstairs you'll notice that there isn't a torch with a number 4 on it. The torch with a blood smear instead of a number is the number 4. You then align and shoot the rings, place the staff in the altar in the crazy place, and then get your 20 kills to finish the upgrade. Be careful with the fire staff at high rounds on Black Ops 2 because it can also cause crashes at around round 80 plus. On Black Ops 3, the fire staff is very weak on rounds higher than about 60 or 70, and it won't even kill the zombies, it'll just slow them down to a walking speed for you. So again, I recommend the ice staff for your high round strategy. We're now moving on to the Easter egg. This is the recommended low round strategy. If you're not using an extra credit or shopping free, go prone and quick revive for 25 points on Black Ops 2 or 100 points on Black Ops 3. You want to stab all round 1 and 2 zombies and don't use any of your metas as ammo. Horde round 3 zombies in the lower area of the spawn, and then you want to go to the rewards chest and wait for the zombies to start getting up the stairs. You want to then collect the double points and run to the Gen 2 route door. Go for headshots on horde zombies. Try and hit as many zombies with each bullet as you can, but try to leave at least one zombie undamaged if you're on Black Ops 2. If done correctly, you should be able to get from 4,000 to 7,000 points, depending on if you got lucky with a double points or a max ammo drop. If on Black Ops 2, you want to save 2 zombies here. If you're on Black Ops 3, you want to save 1 or 2 zombies. The reason you want to ideally save 2 zombies on Black Ops 2 is that having 2 zombies alive is much safer than having just 1, as you might not be 100% sure if you've damaged it. Also, it means that they should be walkers, because the last zombie of a round is usually a runner. Zombies that have been damaged will bleed out on Black Ops 2, but on Black Ops 3 they will just respawn. When trying to build the ice staff on early rounds, it's important to take the generator 2 route instead of the generator 3. This is because on the generator 2 route there is 1 dig spot before the second door and 2 after it, but on the generator 3 route there are 2 before the second door and 1 after. This means that if you don't get the part from digging up the piles on generator 2, opening up the 500 point door from spawn to generator 3 route will give you 2 new potential spots, as opposed to the 1 extra spot you would get if you went to generator 3 first. This is exactly the same with shield parts. On the generator 2 side there is only 1 spawn location before the second door and 2 after, whereas on generator 3 it's the other way around. It's all about saving points and being efficient as possible. If you are using Gobblegums, I just want to point out, if you're using the extra credit Gobblegum, pick up the double points before collecting the points, or if you're using the shopping free Gobblegum, use the generator 2 route. Once the workshop is opened, open up the generator 3 door, open the door to no man's land, open the mound, run through the opposite side of the mound and open the door leading to the church. Then you want to run through the footprint, open the stairs next to the tank leading to the church. Opening the stairs instead of generator 5 is important because of how many dig spots you'll be opening up for yourself. Generator 5 only has 2 of the 16 no man's land dig spots. Upstairs in the church has 3 of the church dig spots, so by opening this door you go from a 3 to 6 chance of getting the correct dig spot to a 6 out of 6 chance. But by opening generator 5 you go from a 14 out of 16 chance to a 16 out of 16 chance. Simply put, your chances of getting the correct no man's land dig spot are already very high, but the chance of getting the correct church dig spot is only 50%. When you aren't using Gobblegums, you really need to maximise every point you can get. Templar zombies that spawn when you're turning on a generator won't give you any points for damaging them, but they'll give you 10 points per kill. So when you turn on Gen 1 on round 1, you can stab them to get 10 points per kill, but make sure not to waste any ammo on them, as you won't get any points and they're not worth wasting your ammo on. This will stop giving you points after 10 kills, but the extra 100 points can be really useful. This is only really necessary on round 1, so after that it's best to just avoid the zombies and train around them whilst the generator turns on and not waste any ammo on them. You can also sometimes dig up blood money drops if you're short for cash, but remember that if you don't have the ice staff parts yet and it isn't snowing, you're better off waiting for the snow to start digging. You can collect all the wind and ice staff parts early on. Keep rounds as low as possible to make the run as easy as possible for yourself and your teammates if you're doing this on co-op. You also need to be patient. You might want to just end the round because you're bored, but you're going to make it so much harder. We will now move on to the G-Strike grenades. G-Strike grenades are not needed for step 2, but it's always good to get them before it because they will be needed for step 3, and until step 3 is complete, all 3 robots will come every single time. This can be dangerous and very easily end the round on Black Ops 2, so it's best to have the G-Strikes prepared before you finish step 2. G-Strikes act as monkey bombs, attracting zombies and detonating after a short time. The bulk damage comes from the sky, so if used indoors they won't be very effective at killing, but they'll still buy you some time to get out of a corner. To acquire the G-Strikes, you want to collect a stone tablet from the tank station on the table next to the lightning staff switch. 1 tablet per player. You will then want to place the tablet in the holy water upstairs in the church, as seen on your screen now. You want to get 20 melee kills on zombies. You can charge a staff shot and switch to your shield whilst it is killing the zombies to get these kills more easily. This only works on Black Ops 2, not on Black Ops 3. You then want to pick up the tablet after your 20 kills. You want to take it back to the tank station without walking in any mud, using the route shown in this video. If you step in the mud, you'll need to go back to the church and place the tablet back into the holy water. Don't worry though, you don't need to get the 20 kills again, you just need to basically wash off the tablet because it got dirty when you stepped in the mud. It is possible to do the route on screen now without jumping, but you may want to jump just to be safe. And make sure you get back safely. Once you made it back to the tank station, place the tablet on the table you got it from, and then you want to get 20 more melee kills. The G-Strikes will then appear on the table, and then you interact with it to take the G-Strike. It can be helpful to have the wind staff with you while getting the melee kills, as you can quickly blast all of the zombies out your way if you get too crowded. Only players who have completed these steps will get the G-Strike grenades. If you swap G-Strikes for monkey bombs, you can get the G-Strikes back again from the box. However, there is a bug on Black Ops 3 where if you've done the melee kills at the church and you put the tablet back on the table in the tank station but bleed out before you finish the second set of melee kills, you'll need to start again from scratch when you respawn. I just want to point out, step 1 is simply to build and upgrade all of the staffs. So step 2 of the Easter egg is Ascend from Darkness. On Black Ops 2 this step can be skipped by placing the fire staff in the 5th pedestal that has appeared in the lower chamber of the mound and then picking it back up from where you originally built it and repeating this 4 times. On Black Ops 3 unfortunately you do need to do this whole step. Each staff needs to be put in a specific place. The ice staff needs to be placed in the church robot. The wind staff needs to be placed in the no man's land robot. The lightning needs to be placed in the trenches robot, and the fire needs to be placed in the pedestal that appears in the lower chamber of the mound after completing step 1. Each robot is entered the same way as when collecting the wind staff parts, but they each have a new pedestal for the staffs. Once complete, all staffs will teleport back to where they were originally built. We are now moving on to step 3 of the Easter egg, which is also known as Rain Fire. For this step, someone in the game will need to have the G-Strike grenades. This step is made easier and easier by having more players in the game. With 4 players, the player with the G-Strike grenades needs to stand near generator 5, while the other 3 players need to go over to the robot footprints, 1 for each robot. When all 3 robots walk across the map, the player who is in the correct robot's path will need to go into the robot. There, they will need to press a small red button that has appeared where the staff pedestal used to be. Immediately after pressing that button, the player with the G-Strike grenades then needs to throw 1 at the concrete circle just outside the map on your screens right now. If done correctly, the circle will be destroyed and a hole will appear in the ground. With less than 3 players, it is best for the 2 players attempting to get into the robots to stand either side of the mound so they can run to the correct footprint once it has been identified. It is usually easiest for the G-Strike player to identify which foot it is, as they are closest to the robots. With 2 players, it is usually best to stand in the middle robot's path and be ready to run to either of the other paths if necessary. On Black Ops 3 the timing is much more forgiving, but on Black Ops 2 you need to be very fast. On solo, you need the middle robot to be the enterable one if you're on Black Ops 2. However, on Black Ops 3, you have enough time to use the first foot in the church area and then run over to the Gen 5 to throw the G-Strike. Go into the robot and then wait for the eject sequence to start. Maxis will start counting down from 10. You want to count down with him. He will go down to 1, but you need to go down to 0. Press the button as you say 0. You will then be ejected. You will then need to run over to the correct position as fast as you can and throw a G-Strike at the concrete circle. On Black Ops 2, it is best to press the button a little bit before you get to the edge of the map, as the G-Strike animation is quite slow, but on Black Ops 3 you have so much more time that it really does not matter. If you fail this step, you'll just need to wait for the next set of robots to walk by. Step 4 is known as Unleash the Horde. For this step, you will have to have built and picked up the Maxis Drone. Go to the spot where you threw the G-Strikes and release the Maxis Drone. You will fly into the hole and multiple panzers will spawn at generator 5. This is much easier than it seems if you're holding one of the upgraded ultimate staffs. The best staffs for this step would be fire, lightning and ice. Wind is okay too, but is probably the weakest of the 4. Realistically though, any staff is more than enough for this step. If you have the fire or ice staff, you can just put down charge shots here, shown in the video, and the panzers will just run into them and die, because panzers are dumb. It's definitely possible to do this without even ending the round, as you can see in the footage. Once all the panzers have been killed, Samantha will give you a quote and you can move on to the next step. Step 5 is known as Skewer the Winged Beast. For this step you'll need a weapon that fires bullets and a zombie blood. You can use the ice staff to do the chariot's Easter egg rather than wait for a random drop. This is done by shooting the 3 burning chariots with the ice staff. It can be upgraded or the standard ice staff, and a zombie blood drop will appear at the top of the mound. The chariots will be relit at the start of every round except for rounds where it's raining. It is best to wait a second to recharge your sprint before picking up the zombie blood, as you will need to act quickly for this step. Once you're in the zombie blood mode, a glowing plane will be visible in the sky, the same as the ice staff part was. Shoot the plane down with a bullet weapon and note where the plane was when you shot it. Below that point, a zombie will spawn in that you can only see when you're in zombie blood mode. The zombie will run clockwise around the mound, starting from below where the plane was shot down. You can hear him without the zombie blood, but you can only see him and kill him with it on. You want to run anti-clockwise around the mound and kill the zombie. He will then drop the Maxis Drone. You want to interact with it and it will be sent back to where you built it to recharge. It's very easy to do this step with 1 zombie blood if you know what you're doing, but you might want to have a temporal gift if you're not confident. Step 6 is known as Wield a Fist of Iron. For this step you'll need to have retrieved the Wunderfizz. You get these by filling up the 4 soul chests with 30 to 45 souls each. They are all in robot footprints scattered around the map. If a robot steps on one of the soul chests whilst you're filling it, the chest will be reset and you will need to start again once the robot has moved out of the way. The most reliable way to fill a soul chest is to wait for the robot that steps on it to pass and then begin collecting the souls. Be careful when doing this method on a round that is a multiple of 4, because the next time a robot comes past, it could be all 3 robots. But on rounds where only single robots will walk over the map, this method is very consistent, as the same robot will never come twice in a row. Once all 4 soul chests have been filled, Wunderfizz can be retrieved from the rewards chests, either in the spawn room or next to generator 6. It is the bottom reward. Whenever you need to just kill zombies to get through early rounds, for example, if you've built all staffs except for fire and you want to get to round 8 to get the final piece, it can be a good opportunity to fill a soul chest. This can make your life much easier later on in the game. Once you've acquired the Wunderfizz, you need to go to the lower chamber of the mound where the staffs were built, and zombies with white smoke around their arms will start spawning. This smoke can be a bit hard to see on Black Ops 3, but in Black Ops 2 it's very clear. You need to melee these zombies. The melee does not need to kill them, but this step is much easier if it is done on a low enough round that it does up to round 19. When you've successfully meleeed one of the zombies, you will see the white smoke disappear. Once enough zombies have been meleeed, a stone tablet similar to the one from the G-Strike step will appear, only visible to you. Walk through it and a short animation will play, telling you that you have successfully upgraded your Thunderfists into Iron Fists. Once completed, if you swap weapons as you pick up the upgraded Thunderfists, it actually cancels the animation and it's more convenient for you as the player. On Black Ops 3, the Iron Fists are not elemental, they all have the same effect. However, on Black Ops 2, they will have an elemental effect corresponding to whichever staff you were holding when you picked up the tablet. On solo, it can be a good idea to hold the Wind staff for this step for 2 reasons. One is that you can blast the zombies away from you if you get too crowded, and 2, the Wind elemental effect on the punch will be useful for blasting zombies away from you in the final step of the Easter egg. On Black Ops 2, the punch animation of both the Thunder Fists and the Iron Fists overrides the animation of the ultimate staff melee. However, on Black Ops 3, if you have Thunder or Iron Fists and you're holding an ultimate staff, this staff animation will play. This is actually a good thing because the hit registration on the fist animations in Black Ops 3 are very inconsistent. If a zombie is too close to them or there are too many together, the punch won't even hit them. In Black Ops 2, it's far more reliable. The staff melee on Black Ops 3 is far more consistent than the punch melee, but has the same effect if you've already got your fists, only the animation is different. Now we move on to step 7 of the Easter egg, which is Raise Hell. I call this the Doom step because of the name. To finish the Easter egg, you need to place all of the staffs in their corresponding altars in the crazy place. If you're on Black Ops 2 and you use the skipping step 2 glitch, it's likely that 2 or 3 of them will already be there, but in Black Ops 3 you will need to put all of them there yourself, as you will have teleported back to the lower chamber after completing step 2. Now you need to kill zombies in the crazy place without the staffs. The number of kills needed varies depending on the number of players. 1 player is 100 kills, 2 players is 200 kills, 3 players is 300 kills, and 4 players is 400 kills. You want to note though that it's not that each player has to get 100 kills, just that the total number goes up depending on how many players there are. On screen now are a list of all the double packer punches in Black Ops 3 and which ones do and don't work for this step of the Easter egg. Once these kills have been achieved, the screen will go white briefly. Be careful, as you can still be hit by the zombies in this time. You will then move on to step 8, that's called Freedom. For this step, you will need to pick up the Maxis Drone from where it was built after the events of Skewer the Winged Beast. This step will end the game, so if you were planning on carrying on for a bit, make sure to do this once you're happy to end the game and watch the cutscene. Release the Maxis Drone beneath the portal in the centre of the crazy place. He will fly up and open the portal. A beam of light will appear, and all players must go over to this beam and interact with it to end the game and play the cutscene. We will now move on to some little upgrades in the game. The golden shovel is an easy upgrade to do. To upgrade the shovel, dig up 30 dirt piles around the map. The golden shovel can give you better weapons and drops from the dirt piles, and after digging up enough piles with the golden shovel, you'll get the golden helmet, which lets you survive being stepped on by the robot. The number of spots you have to dig up to obtain the golden helmet after you've got the golden shovel is random. It could be the next pile you dig up, or it could take another 30 or 40 more spots. You can also use it to get additional perk slots without the need to use Gobblegums by doing the red dig spot Easter egg. Once you have the golden shovel, you can start looking for red dig spots. There are 16 of them on the map, 4 per player. You can only see and dig up these spots whilst you're in zombie blood mode, but there are a couple of bugs that can reveal them if you know specifically where to look for them. We'll put them up on screen now so you can see all of them. It's good to remember about the Chariot's Easter egg when you're doing this. You can use these routes on screen now to check all 16 spots with only 3 zombie bloods. Remember, you can get double the amount of time to search if you use the temporal gift Gobblegum. The red dig spots only spawn in one at a time. When you dig one up, you'll need to end the round before the next one can spawn in. There are two ways you can check which spot has the red dig pile without using zombie blood if you know the exact place. You can throw semtexes on Black Ops 2 or trip mines on Black Ops 3 at one of the spots, and if it's the correct spot, the red dig pile will appear. On Black Ops 3, try to pick up the mines so you can reuse them then without having to wait for the next round because you can't buy more from the war buy. You can't pick it up until you get a zombie blood, but you can check where it is by doing this. You can also do this by charging an ultimate fire staff shot and hitting the pile. These bugs work on both Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 versions of the map. For all of these methods, you'll need to hit the red dig pile directly for it to appear. Once you've dug up the spot, a perk bottle will appear. Walk through it and you'll have gained an extra perk slot so you can go and buy a 5th perk. It does not matter if the zombie blood runs out before you pick up the bottle, as long as you dig it up before the zombie's blood ends. You can do this 4 times so you can get up to 8 perk slots. It is possible to get all 9 perks if you make sure you don't get double tap as one of your first 8. Then once you have 8 perks, go to the reward chest and pick up the middle reward for spending 30,000 points. We now move on to the Wunderfizz. The Wunderfizz gives you a random perk for 1,500 points, and then you can choose to take it or leave it, much like the mystery box. The perks in the Wunderfizz have 2 different rarities. Assuming you don't have any perks, Mule Kick and most of the ones that don't have machines, so this is PhD on Black Ops 2, then Deadshot, Double Tap and Electric Cherry on both games, have a 95 to 97% chance of showing up. Juggernog, Stamina Up, Quick Revive, Widow's Wine and Speed Cola and the Teddy Bear have a 3 to 5% chance of showing up. If you're on Black Ops 2 or you're not using Gobblegums on Black Ops 3 to get perks, once you run out of Quick Revives, in most maps that means that it is your last life. But in Origins you can get as many Quick Revives as you want by getting them from the Wunderfizz. You can maximise the chance of getting the Quick Revive out of the Wunderfizz by getting every perk except from Speed Cola and Quick Revive. This makes it so you have a 50% chance of getting Quick Revive. If you choose to get Speed Cola and leave out Deadshot, as I'm sure most people would, you're very unlikely to get the Quick Revive from the Wunderfizz machine. Now we move on to the high round strategies of this guide. We'll give 2 strats for each game, so that's Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. Black Ops 2's first strategy is to get the ultimate ice staff and the wind staff if going beyond round 111, a shield, semtexes, Juggernog, Speed Cola, Quick Revive and PhD. You want to get Electric Cherry as your 5th perk if you do the red dig spot Easter egg. You want to stand between these 2 craters behind the tank station at Generator 2 and have a Boom Hilder or Raygun Mark II for the Panzers. You want to use half charge shots of the staff on the ground. When you get an insta kill, throw semtexes down to quickly clear out all of the zombies around you. The second Black Ops 2 strategy is to camp with the ice staff by Generator 3 where you see now. If you make sure that you don't move too far backwards, the zombies will all spawn in front of you and you can use half charge shots to get through the rounds. We then move on to the Black Ops 3 strategies. The first Black Ops 3 strategy is the one I used myself on my round 100 run the other day on Origins. You want to get the ice staff and camp in the fire tunnel, have the portal open as an escape route, have a Boom Hilder or Mark II for Panzers. Mark II really isn't necessary as the Boom Hilder does the job perfectly, but I can confirm the Mark II is insane on Panzers. Okay, like for real, I didn't realise how good it was on Panzers until my run the other day. Best not to hit the box too much to avoid getting a teddy bear, because once you get a teddy bear, fire cells are added into the drop cycle, which means you'll get a max ammo lefts often. This applies for all the high round runs, by the way. It can also be helpful to throw a G-Strike grenade or a monkey when the Panzer comes to buy you some time to kill it without having to worry about the zombies surrounding you. If you stand in this spot where I'm stood right now, Panzers will not attack you. They will stand still in front of you, and it gives you an opportunity to spam ice shots on the floor and kill the Panzers really effectively and rapidly. You may struggle with more than 2 players, as you can see with the corner, there's not a lot of room. The second strategy for Black Ops 3 is to use the ice staff and camp at this spot on the tank track going from the church to Generator 4. Walk from side to side to avoid getting hit too much, and when the Panzer comes, run down towards Generator 4 and kill it with the Boom Hilder or the Mark II. I'm now going to cover some useful bugs. Useful Black Ops 2 bugs are as follows. You can get 2 ultimate upgraded staffs at once, or 3 if you have Mule Kick on Black Ops 2. You need to make sure they're all upgraded before you do it. You want to get rid of your staff and go to the Pack-a-Punch to upgrade your other weapon. You want to then leave this weapon in the Pack-a-Punch machine. You should now have no weapon on your screen. You want to go to the first staff you want and pick it up. Then you want to switch to the revive end of the staff and go up to the second staff and pick it up. If you're getting a third, just make sure you have Mule Kick and do this step again. You can also get an elemental knife, which does way more damage than the Iron Fists, but you can only do this in co-op. It's debated within the community whether this is a glitch or a feature, but it's it's most likely a bit of both. A glitch that allows you to access a feature that was probably cut from the game. You want to get the Wunderfizz and upgrade them to Iron Fists. Then you want to go into a robot and down yourself with a grenade. You can't do this if you have PhD, obviously. Make sure you bleed out inside the robot's head, and then when you respawn, your normal knife melee will do way more damage than the fists, and it will have inherited whichever element your fists had. You should absolutely use the fire fists for this, as it is a one-hit kill up to round 214. And on Black Ops 2, your game will probably crash long before that anyway. The other elements stop being one-hits not long after the fist versions, so there isn't really any point in getting them. It's best if all players upgrade their fists one at a time so they can all get the fire fists by swapping out the fire staff. There's another bug called the Super Electric Cherry. If you have an electric cherry and an ultimate staff, and then you switch to the revive end of the staff and fire a shot, then switch the weapon before it gets a chance to reload, for some reason it makes it so if you switch to the revive end, it'll let out a way bigger blast than the normal one from reloading. Okay, we're almost there. Here are some other useful tips we could think of between me and my editing team. The Mauser does more damage in Black Ops 3 than Black Ops 2. On round 1 on Black Ops 2, you can shoot a zombie in the leg 8 times and then knife them to get the maximum amount of points. But on Black Ops 3, you can only shoot them 7 times and then knife them, as an 8th shot will kill them. There are 3 music Easter eggs in this map. To do the first, go to generator 1 in spawn and go prone on the 1 written on the floor and hold square. Do this again for 1 on the other side. Then go over to generator 5 and do the same with one of the 5s on the floor there. It doesn't matter which one, this will activate a remix of Samantha's Lullaby. To activate the second, just hold square on the 3 green rocks you see on your screen now. This will activate the song Archangel. Lastly, if you hold square on these 3 radios, you can play Shepherds of Fire. The revive end of any ultimate staff will also one-shot the first panzer in the game, but none of them after that. A max ammo will fill the stock and the magazine of any upgraded staff, so you don't need to reload before picking an ammo up. On high rounds on Black Ops 2, 100 plus, sometimes a generator will glitch and not let you turn it back on. The walls in the crazy place block off about half the area at a time, and they move anti-clockwise. The walls will not move it until you pick up one of the gems, so if you aren't interested in building the staffs, it can be a really good place to train. They also stop moving after you've completed the Easter egg before you end the game. So if you're going for high rounds, it can be worth doing the Easter egg first so you have all 4 staffs and a great training spot. You don't have to leave the crazy place through the same portal that you came in. You can leave through any portal that you've already opened. In Black Ops 2 there is a short delay between you buying the door and being able to walk through it, but in Black Ops 3 you can walk through instantly. When opening the lower chamber in the mound, you can run at the stairs before they've appeared as soon as the barrier moves. I tend to do this because it does speed up the game in the process of setting up. The Boom Hilda and the Raygun Mark II are the best weapons for killing panzers on high rounds. I'm going to go as far as saying the Mark II is in a league of its own at killing panzers. It genuinely still one-shotted panzers on round 70-80 for me the other week. It's insane against them. You can use the Raygun Mark II's knockback to run faster through the mud on Black Ops 2 by quickly doing a 180 and firing just after you jump. This isn't specific to Origins, but fire cells will not spawn until you get a teddy bear from the box. So if you're going for high rounds, you want to hit the box as little as possible to make sure you get max ammos more often. Drops in both games work on a cycle. A random order will be made, and then once you've had all the drops once, a new order will be generated. So if you ever get the same drop twice in a row, it means you're on a new cycle. Drops from dig spots and panzers aren't related to this. Gobblegums also use the same kind of cycle. If you step off a generator too soon after turning it on, you don't get the points. That generator won't count towards the challenge in the rewards chest that gives you a max ammo. On both games, firing a charged ice staff shot and then firing another one before the storm has finished will erase the first one that you fired. In other words, only one ice staff storm can be on the map at once. When you leave the crazy place in Black Ops 2, you'll spawn facing the portal, but in Black Ops 3, you'll spawn facing away from it. On Black Ops 2, you can get 25 points from going prone in front of any of the 5 perk machines or the pack-a-punch. On Black Ops 3, you can get 100 points from the perk machines, but you will not get any points from proning at the pack-a-punch. On Black Ops 3, if you dig up a Mauser, you can fill the ammo for your Boom Hilda, but on Black Ops 2, this will replace your Boom Hilda with an unupgraded Mauser. On Black Ops 2, the knockback from the Boom Hilda and the Raygun Mark II is actually strong enough that they can be used to boost jump over the trenches when walking down the tank track. Spam some shots while walking backwards and jump in to clear the distance. You can actually squeeze past this robot foot next to the mound if you need to. You can place a staff down or pick one up in the crazy place through the moving walls. However, you can't do this with the gems. This applies to both Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 versions of the map. If you're standing in the footprint with the soul chest at Gen 5 or the one with the soul chest at Gen 4, you can actually avoid being stepped on by standing in these spots here on your screens now. It's also worth noting that custom games on Black Ops 2 will act as co-op games even when you're playing as a solo, so door prices will be higher and the rewards chest in the spawn will give you a zombie blood instead of a double points. On Black Ops 2, if you kill the Panzer too close to the platform with the second lightning staff part, there's a chance that the fire staff part will spawn up there too. It's unlikely and it's not the end of the world, but it's worth keeping in mind. That is your Origins Beginner to Master's Guide. If you've got this far into this video, you are now a certified master of Origins. You can carry your friends to high rounds. You can carry your friends through the Easter egg. This guide absolutely destroys the prior high round guide that I did on my channel for Origins. And I will be redirecting people who are watching that one, because that still gets like thousands of views a month. I will be redirecting people from that one over to this one, because this guide is fundamentally so much better, it is unreal. If you really did enjoy any of this guide and it has helped you in any sort of way, I would love the subscription. It would mean the world to me. It's free. Just press that red button below, put notifications on. I'm always streaming, even if it's not zombies. I'm streaming daily. I always live stream here on my YouTube channel. Just a quick note, guys, I actually do now stream on Twitch. I moved to Twitch last August. This voiceover has been recorded a long time, so please do check out my Twitch if you did enjoy this video. I've done a freeze frame because Nathan's done all the timings really well, so he'll probably still kill me for this, but anyway, I do stream on Twitch. It'll be the first link in the description. Do go check it out. I'd love to see some of you guys who are using this guide come over to my stream and just let me know how it is for you, you know. I'd love to know what you guys are up to as well, playing zombies still. This, you know, zombies in a bit of a rough state with Vanguard at the minute, so... But I do play Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, even a dabble of Cold War and World at War over on my Twitch. So do come check it out. I'd love to meet some of you guys, and I'll let 2020 Ben carry on. I love streaming, and I hope some of you stick around. I would love to meet some of you guys that are using this guide in the streams. Like the video, share it with your friends. Get it going, everyone, you know, share it around, whatever you want to do, just do some good stuff. Leave me a comment. If me and my editors have missed anything, let us know. Please do let us know, because I genuinely think this guide covers everything. So if it doesn't, let me know below. I thank you for watching. Thank you, Nathan and Semi, for your help once more for setting this whole thing up. I have been Ben Plays Games. This has been your Origins Beginner to Master Guide. Hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.